All right, I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're gonna be going over some of the stocks that I'm looking at for next week. And also what we did last Sunday at the end. I also took some ticker symbols that you guys wanted me to chart, so we'll do that again as well at the end. But first, let's take a look at some of the data that's expected for next week. When if you're a trader, you always want to check the economic calendar, make sure you know what's going on what days, because news does drive the market. The days that it has very important data, it can be very volatile. Okay, so for next week, on Monday, we have a couple Fed speakers. The one that might get some movement is the pending home sales. So that'll be Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So you don't want to watch for that. You probably could look at some, I know the real estate sector did well on Friday, I believe. Maybe want to look at some real estate tickers, depending on the news that comes out. Tuesday, there's some job data coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That usually can move the market. So keep your eye out for that. Forward message. Hold on, y'all, because I still don't know how to. What are you looking at for next week? That's what I'm here for. We're going to go over all that. That's exactly what this live is for. I'm going to show my watch list. I'm going to chart my watch list for next week. Job data, 10 o'clock, consumer confidence. Look out for those two. On Wednesday, construction spending. Maybe if you're looking at some construction stocks, Home Depot, Lowe's, or something like that, you probably want to watch out for those. I know that the construction, like the building sector, has been doing very well. I think it did kind of turn around the day that that they cut rates. So I don't know. I have to look at that. Let's see. Thursday, initial jobless claims and some more job data. Watch out for that. Friday, nothing too important. A little bit more job data, so just watch for that. Okay. So for next week, I have some notes. I came prepared this time. So first, let's look at let's take a look at the indices first. I think we might go with that SPX. So S&P. So we'll do the indices really quick, just a brief overview. Friday, S&P was up, like a little over 0.5%. It did create the swing low. So if we get a break of next week's highs, we potentially can make our way back up to all-time highs, because this is a swing low. So as long as we can stay above here, we may get some movement. We're still in this nice trend. See if we want to keep that going. What is the NASDAQ symbol? Oh, NASDAQ. Same thing with the NASDAQ. And we also closed as a hammer. Next week, it's looking like a good setup for next week for the overall markets, S&P, the NASDAQ. But the Russell, I watch this a lot because I just like the way that this moves. It's way more cleaner, like this ETF. Same thing, has this swing low. If we can break the highs from last week, 241, we could start making our way back up. We are in this trading channel. If we can at least get to this regression line and probably shoot up. But the Russell has been moving very, very funny. Like it acts like it wants to go and it just lags compared to the other major indices. But I do love trading IWM. I'm always trading this. Like I trade this over SPY or the Qs and all that. So yeah. Watch for that. Now one of the stocks I'm looking at for next week is Spotify. I think this is my number one pick for the week because I really like this setup, and I'm going to go ahead and go over it. So let's go to the weekly because we closed out on the week. Well, let's see what we're looking at on the month. What are we? Oh, yeah, this was part of. So on the monthly, we are trading inside still from August, and we go to up at 748.30. I'm going to mark that as like just to know that if we break that, we go two up on the month, which could be good. So we're trading inside. Now for the week that just closed, we traded inside. We closed like a one candle for this week. So I have it marked already. I should have cleared it, but one entry for Spotify that you can take if you want to take it at the break of the previous week's high, which is 740.20. That could be one, but I like to kind of go down and find like an earlier entry on a lower time frame. But that is a strategy, the break of the previous week's high. Now, this is what I really liked on the daily, this setup, because we're in this trading channel, right? And then we're at the bottom of the trading channel, and then we have a 3-1 setup, and this is a hammer candle, and we have good volume. So you can see down here, the volume is pretty good. Now, if you want to go the break of this one candle, because if you know anything about the strat, the one candles are actionable signals. So that is another way you could play it at the break of that, which is 716.53. I think my, yeah, so 716.53, I'm going to actually add that as an entry. So my entries, I always do them green, and then my targets are blue. So we did the break of 716.53. I had it marked already, targets of 726, 740. I know there's some in between. We're going to work our way down. But for some reason, I had these marked. So if you find, so this is the setup that I like. If you find your setup on the daily or whatever time frame you find your setup, you want your entry to typically be 2 time frames down, okay? Although this is a strategy, you can go 2 time frames down, which would be the 1 hour, I believe. Which it would be the same thing because you have that candle on the daily is the same for the last hour of the market on Friday. So it would be the break of that 716, excuse me. So we are going to try to at least make our way back up to this regression line. It should at least pull through, but we have, so I have 726 marked as a target, and I have 740 marked. See if there was something in between the 726 and 740. No, because you have this big push from here. So will it do this again? No, but this is something to watch. If we can get above this 726, we can very much well push up towards 740. And Spotify is a big It's a big cap stock, so it could move a lot. So that's nothing impossible to go from 26 to 48. Now, to say if it'll happen all in a day, who knows? Hold on, my mouse is frozen. Okay. So, let me see. I'm gonna also show you guys something else on my other chart. So, yeah, but on my paper, I have, okay, the break 716 targets could be 730, 740, and then 748. Okay, as long as we don't get under this channel, like, I would stay in. I do options. Gonna make sure I have some time on my contract. But we're right at the bottom of this channel, and it has been acting as support. So you would think that it's gonna start making its way back up past that regression line. Now, I also want to show somewhere else that I chart. Here we are. So I use, I actually trade on Thinkorswim. I chart on TradingView and Thinkorswim. I go back and forth because I have different setups on my charts. So I look for different confluences. Hold on, yeah, I'm trying to make sure I stay. I don't know what that did. So for Spotify, on this daily, you can see that we reclaimed the 21-day moving average, okay? So that is a very good sign. It closed as a hammer. So that's two confluences. You reclaim the moving average. The candlestick is the actionable signal, which is a hammer candle. And I have a momentum. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I have a momentum indicator down here, which it is getting above the 50. I have it set for the 50 moving average. So the momentum is picking up. That's already 3 confluences. Or if you want to even add the confluence of it being at the bottom of a trading channel. So like the trend is your friend. You have like at least 4 confluences for Spotify. That's why this is like my #1 pick for the week. Like, I'm going to really be watching Spotify because it appears to be set up really good. And also, not only the 21, but this is the 50-day moving average as well. So I reclaim both of those. Let's see what it did on the weekly on this chart. Yeah. Okay, so that's Spotify. Now, my next ticker is okay, Boeing. Now this one I'm picking Boeing to watch because it has some news catalysts going on. As you guys know, Boeing has been getting beat down to the ground because of all of the stuff that was going on with the planes breaking and stuff, like the y'all know all that stuff that was going on with Boeing, the door that broke and all that malfunction, right? And you also had if you guys remember, you had the whistleblower of Boeing who committed suicide. These are quotes. Committed suicide. The whistleblower committed suicide, y'all. But they settled a wrongful lawsuit, I guess, with his family. So right here, Boeing settles lawsuit on wrongful death claim related to deceased whistleblower. So they settled that lawsuit. Also, the FAA, which is that's the people that regulate the flight airlines and stuff. They have gave Boeing limited delegation for Boeing to issue final safety documents for specific 737 MAX and 787 planes starting Monday. So they're finally being able to move forward with their planes and stuff because all of that safety stuff was going on. They're finally getting the green light to kind of move forward. So it was news for the stock, and the stock kind of jumped. It's been doing good. So I have this on my watch list just because the good catalyst can kind of get this stock turning around. And what I really liked was the setup on the weekly. Okay, so as you can see, we're well above the average volume for the week, and we closed as a 3 candle. And are we in full time frame? No. Won't take much though. So we have this 3 candle, right? And you can always, a 3-2 is a good setup if you're used to the strat. So you could take this at the break of last week's high, which is 224.10. I'm going to go ahead and mark that as a possible entry, right? And then you can kind of ride this up to even at least this week back in earlier September, right? We can get up to that high. Let me see the month right quick. What did we open at? The month opened at, so for September, we opened at 231. So even on the weekly, if you took it at the break of this 224, your first target should be that 231. As long as we can get above 231, it'll make more moves. But if it doesn't get above the opening price of the month, then you kind of want to watch. So if you take it at the break of 224, your first target should be 231. You want to take off most of your profit and leave a runner. And if we break that, you can kind of reposition and get back in. But since it's found on the weekly, we'll see if we have an earlier entry at a lower time frame, which we have a 2-1 on the 4-hour. You can also take it at the break of this 1 candle at 222.87. So that's just an earlier entry. That's an earlier entry, but this one, the 224, is a safer entry. Trying to read the comments too. Okay. Now for your targets, if we can get above that, let's see what we have. Have this 2. If you got in at 222, have this 225, you can watch that. We have, this is just on the 4-hour. We have this 231.61. Wait, that's the wrong one. I want to use this one, which is also right around that 231 of where it opened for the month, okay? Then if we can get above that, you have 238. We also have this 236 that you can watch out for right here. Okay, so on my paper, I had 225.50, 233.61, and 236.45. Also, let's go on here, see what I noticed. You can see on here, we reclaimed again the 21 and the 50-day moving average. Okay, I mean, the candle did close under the opening price, but we still have good volume and we're still probably going to run off the news. So that's what this trade is all about. I think it's news driven. Technically, I think it's setting up and it's just something to watch. I kind of like this one. We have the momentum picking up down here. So Boeing is definitely on the watch list. Let's see. Also, some other news is that the Turkish airline had agreed to purchase, I think, 75 of their planes. That's some more news catalysts. Now, let's go to the next one. Let's see, what does this say? Oh, I thought there was a comment. So the next one is DoorDash. So what I liked about DoorDash is, first of all, let's start on my monthly and work our way down. We're still trading inside. Let me see. Well, we have like a week left in September. I think it's like a week left. So we're still trading inside. We go 2 up on the month at 278. Okay, so I marked that for a level of resistance to watch out for. Then we'll work our way down. We'll go to the weekly. We have a 2-1 setup. I think the daily is what I was really looking at. DoorDash has been doing very well, as you can see. Let me see, was it the daily? Okay, yeah, it was the daily because I like this. Let me go on this chart and show it because I like it's like a cup and handle. If anybody's familiar with those patterns, the cup and handles, that's what we have going on the daily for DoorDash. As you can see, this is your cup and this is your handle. Now, very tight action on the, oh, you know what? Sorry, I want to go back to something on Spotify. I want to show you guys something also that I look at. I think I gotta, what did I go over? Just Spotify and DoorDash, Spotify and Boeing. Okay. Also, what I like to do is I use the fib for something. Now, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is all the days of last week, right? If you take your Fibonacci from the highest to the lowest point of the week, and I have mine set up where I only look at the 50%. I know a lot of people do the bounce off like the 0.38 and the 68. So I just set it up so I could see the 50. So for Spotify, you can see it's right at this 50, right? It's reclaiming, like it pulled it all the way down to this low, and it has retraced at least almost to the 50%, which is at 717.82, right? So off of the Fibonacci, I do expect it to still kind of make its way up. I just wanted to share that because that is something that I do look at on most of my charts too, that Fibonacci. I hate to call this, I like the colors, call it the Bob Marley. Okay. So what was I on? Let me see what Boeing's was, if they had anything. Oh, no, because they were kind of coming up. Boeing, I think if you wanted to, let me see. If you wanted to possibly get a retest of this 217, that's something you can watch for too, because it has made its way up. If it retraces 50%, that's probably something you could watch too. So anyways, moving back on, where was I at? DoorDash. So we were talking about the cup and handle, and let's get that fib out the way. Let me see what they had. Well, no, because let's see. The high point from last week was here. The lowest point was here. Okay. So they're almost reclaiming 50% too. So DoorDash, entry could be, I don't think you guys can see my target right there on the side. That 262. So that can be a level where you enter the break of 262.91 because that reclaims 50% of the retracement. Okay. Let me remove this. But as I was saying, I like the cup and handle on DoorDash. We have tight action on the handle. And with the cup and handle, you always want to kind of target the top of the cup, the 278. So I'm going to go back to this one to do our entries and stuff. So were we on the moving average? Yeah, we're right at the moving average to the 21 day. So that's very good. Let's see where we can do a good entry. So my setup was the daily, typically 2 time frames down. So I'm on the 1 hour looking for an earlier entry. Okay, so our latest, we closed at 262.47, which was the swing high previous. So if you want to do the break of this one candle, which is 263.46, we can do that. And then let's see where our targets would be. I'm trying to see why I have 260. Let's see, 262 is big. I know there's got to be something in between here, 264. So we can watch for this 264 level. Change this blue. Let me turn my camera some. This 264. And then we have 266.39. And then 268. Wait a minute. 268. I think that 278 was the all-time high. Yeah, that after 268, there's this 273. Okay, so break of like 263.46 and make our way up. This one I would have like a lot of time on my contract because like I said, the cup and handle, you're playing off that, and typically if it breaks, it can make a big move, possibly break all-time highs. But this is the main target, this 270, this 278.15. Once and if we get there, you should be selling most of your contracts and just leaving a runner. But also, if you're in profit way before then, make sure you don't be scared to take profits. What else did we have? Okay, let's look at this stock. I've never traded this, but I did hear about it somewhere, and I kind of looked at it, and I was like, I think the markets are moving now, too. So we can, let's see. Yeah, the markets, what time is it? Let's see what Spotify doing overnight. Are they moving? Let's see. Here's Spotify. Yeah, Spotify is moved. Where was our entry on Spotify? I know I said the 717.82, that 50% mark. It's kind of breaking. What else did we go over? Dash. Oh, Dash is oh, y'all can't see. There you go. Dash is moving in the pre-market. What did we say for Dash? Entry was 262. Oh, it's already at the second target. So DoorDash, definitely watch DoorDash for a pullback. I mean, in this overnight market, we already, our entry hit. Our first target of 264.50, the second target was 269, and the third is 273. So I definitely watch DoorDash for a pullback. Okay, I do like to. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me write this down so I don't forget. I'm gonna go back to entry and pullbacks on like the 2-minute time frame. I'm gonna show you guys how I play that. Now let's go back to what we were doing. Where was that? Okay, BWXT. So I heard about this on something that I was looking at over the weekend. And this stock is like adjacent to AI. So you guys know there was a lot of AI news, and anytime there's AI news, the AI stocks be running. Now this is adjacent to it. It's adjacent to that. It has a little nuclear and utility. So for those that don't know, like AI needs energy to run and all that. So that's why some of these nuclear and energy stocks run with AI, because you need the energy for AI to run. So let's see what was going on. Nuclear stocks are soaring as Trump makes reactors part of trade talks. This stock back September 16th, this is a little while ago. It's probably why it's been running. It secures a 1.5 contract from U.S. nuclear weapons. Okay, so anytime a stock gets some government contracts, that's a positive catalyst, because that's almost like guaranteed profit if you're getting contracts from the government. That's what you want. So let's see what we had going on. Let's start on the monthly. We're trading inside. It's been running it has good volume the last 6 months. It's just, this stock been a beast. Like, look at that. It ain't stopped. So hopefully it continue now that I found it. So let's see. We're trading inside. We go up at 189.25. So I'm just going to mark that as some major resistance. It looks like that's the all-time high as well. Yeah. So if we break that, we get all-time high break. As you know, that is entering undiscovered territory. So we don't really know where the resistance is. We don't really know where the resistance is going to be, but it's going to find some places to land after that. And typically, a lot of times when stocks break their all-time highs, they tend to move a lot, okay? Not guaranteed, but they do tend to do that. So on the weekly, let's see what we have. Trying to see where a good entry would be. Okay, so here we are on the daily. We gapped up here. It's kind of been holding this gap quite well. We have this swing low created right here. For those that don't know, a swing low is basically, it's a 3-candle setup. Where's my arrow? 3-candle setup, 1, 2, 3. The middle candle is lower than the candle on both sides, meaning it creates a swing low. This kind of signifies that buyers are probably exhausted and sellers are stepping in. So that can be your stop loss down there, which is, and I haven't marked with these red dashes. It automates on one of the indicators that I have, but it's at 170.88. And you can take it at the break of Friday's high, which was 180.98. I'm gonna change that green. 180.98, and then my target would just be 189 all-time highs. I'll leave a couple runners to see if we get a break. Let's see what it's doing in the pre-market. BW. Okay, it's kind of struggling at this 182. But for this stock, I would want it to fall some. If I'm going to trade this, I would want it to fall. Maybe even come down and retest like this 178-ish area. Because I've never traded this. And, I don't know. Spreads are kind of wide, but I do like the setup. I'm gonna watch it. This ain't like my number one pick, but I will watch it. Because the spreads are kind of, I don't really like the spreads on these. But I'll still watch it. I will have to I probably have to do this 210 contract. I'll be watching the 210 contract. So yeah, the break of Friday's high, at least get up to 189. I'll sell everything and leave some runners just in case we break all-time highs. Let's see. Also, let's see. The next I have was HWM. This is in the aerospace too. Like that aerospace has been doing really well. 125. So HWM, this is another one that's potentially about to break all-time highs, I believe. Yeah, that's why I have this one. Well, it did break all-time highs. The previous all-time high was this 193.26, and it did kind of break it this week. It just didn't really hold. So we'll see if it'll do it again. It kind of rejected, but we do have a swing low that was created. Hold on. We have a swing low that was created right here from Thursday, 186.73. So again, just like with the BWXT, you would take it at the break of Friday's high, which is 194.89. That is all-time high to see if we get some more movement. Your stop loss could be the swing low, 186. So always make sure you have time on your contract. I don't know what the target would be, but I would say if we look on HWM, let's see what the contracts do. Look like I would go every $2. Even this one, oh, these have bad spreads too, but it's still something to watch. Yeah, I don't know. Let me go to October 10th. Maybe the spreads will tighten up as the trading day goes by. But I would, if we break that one, what was the entry? 194.89. If we get in, I'll just watch it like every $2. Every $2. Let's see, what was the news? Aerospace and defense. Yeah, defense has been doing really good because y'all president is all about war, and he's just amping up all the war stocks, and like he's just into that. Okay, so another one that I'm watching is UNH. As you guys can see from as you guys can see from Friday, the health care did UNH that I'm watching. Let's see. So the reason why I'm watching UNH is because, well, first of all, let me see. Is that why I'm watching UNH is because, well, first of all, let me see. Is that the right? Let's see. What's the comments there? I thought there was a comment there. I thought there was a comment. Can y'all hear me? Someone said something about my connection. Are we on here? Can y'all hear me? Because somebody put like a thumbs up or something. Just say that you guys can hear me. I want to make sure my connection is still there. Did it? How you know? You're not on the TV? My son said the Wi-Fi disconnected. So can y'all give me somebody if you can hear me? Just say you can hear me or something. Okay. Somebody said yeah. Thank you. Okay. So United Healthcare sector, y'all know, was falling to hell after the guy murdered the CEO. I hear you. Thank you, Oscar. So then it started making its way back up, and it had this gap to fill, right? And it kind of started, and it still needs to finish. Now, the reason why I'm watching UNH, because I have this strategy, and I'm going to show you a couple more. Like I said earlier, the pullback. There's, I like a strategy called 2 candle pullback, right? So no matter what trade I'm trading, no matter what time frame I'm looking to enter, you always want to get in on a pullback. Okay, so on this daily chart with UNH, there's a 2 candle pullback, which on the daily is right here. Now I would expect, and we're also at the, let me delete these because I kind of was already charting, but we can put those back. Okay, so this is all this gray area. Oh, wait, let me scoot the camera back. Y'all can't see. So all this gray area is the gap that needs to be filled, right? So we still have some ways to go up to about 276. Now we're at the bottom of this trading channel. So it's in an uptrend. We're kind of at the bottom of this trend. We have a 2 candle pullback. Now I would expect for UNH to kind of start making its way back up and shoot through this regression line and maybe finish filling this gap this week, maybe next week. I don't know. We can't put a time frame. But if we're going to respect the trend, we're going to start making our way back up. 2 candle pullback. You can get in. Like, let's see what UNH is doing in the pre-market. How about that? Let me see. Let's see. I'll show y'all some more 2 candle pullback examples too. Look at that. It's already trying to, look at that. All right, it ran to 354 from, what did this candle open at? 343, $10. $10 in 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes. So yeah, we'll watch this because it's definitely trying. So 2 candle pullback. I take it at the break of Friday's high. Or let's see if there's something on the 1 hour. It's kind of the same thing. So yeah, this is take it at the break of 345.92. And then my targets would be if we go 345. 345. See some reason. What is this? Change my targets to blue. We'll watch the 349. Guess we could just round it up to 350. That will be on the first target. And then you can see if it gets up to 354, which you guys did see in the pre-market. It hit 354 and rejected. Okay, so you see that is clear rejection. If you take this trade, you should be out of most profit here and just some runners in case it wants to break and hold this 354. But we clearly see that as some resistance. After 354, we have 362 up here. Okay. So again, the reason why I'm doing UNH is the 2 candle pullback. Also, let me see on my other chart. Yeah, we have the 2 candle pullback. This is the 200 moving average. If you guys know, that is the 200 acts as major support and resistance. So, I mean, 384. I mean, UNH be running. You can use that as your overall target. Just make sure you have a lot of time on your contract. But, I mean, $40 in a week is doable for UNH, especially because it has a gap to fill, but I'll give it some more time. But I really like that 2 candle pullback. And also the weekly, we reclaimed the 21-day moving average. So there's a lot of confluences for UNH as well. So I'll just watch that one. Okay, so the last one that I have, and then if you guys have any tickers that you want me to go over, you can start putting it in the chat, and I'll look at a few tickers for you guys if you would like. But the last one that I'm going to be watching is NI, which you can see on my TikTok. I did a video on this. I think last week this was on the watch list. And as you can see, I have everything marked still. My entry was the break of 72 or 72.49. My targets were 73.42, 74, 75, and it hit all these targets. My last target is 76.26, and then resistance up at 77.42. Now, I'm already out of the trade. I made profit, but what I'm watching for this is, because we had a double bottom on the daily, I'm waiting to see if we get a pullback to the neckline of 72.49. If we come back down and get a retest, I will re-enter. Or if we just get a 2 candle pullback, like it's been running for like a week, you need a pullback. So I'll be waiting to see if we get a pullback. Yeah, this was a very good trade that I took. Let me see what it's doing on here. Where are we at? Yeah, we reclaimed the moving averages, but we are in this base, so we do need to break this. It's been kind of, if we break 78.45, we're gonna get some good movement. You see how it's kind of been like basing out here? Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely watching this for a 2 candle pullback. Hopefully we get a pullback Monday and then Tuesday. But like I said, we're gonna watch that. Let's see what it's doing in right now, overnight market. It's rejecting at the 76 level, that was my last target. I was expecting a rejection. So yeah, I'm watching this just for a pullback and then re-enter. Because like I said, we have a double bottom, break of the neckline. Usually you get a retest and then it makes its way, but it shoots back up. So that's what I'm watching for that. All right. Are any of you guys traders? Do any of you guys have any stocks that y'all want me to look at? Why is this saying inactivity? Why am I saying my live was about to end? I don't know how this works. Let's see. Let's see what somebody. Eli Lilly. Y'all know Meta was running crazy last week. I wonder what it's doing. It's time for a pullback on Meta. Oh, XOM was a good one last week. If you guys have any ticker symbols you want me to go over, put it in the chat. Good evening, Auntie. Well, good evening. How you just gonna designate me as an auntie? Wi-Fi money. Are you Wi-Fi money? Are you like really my niece or nephew? I don't know. Any 10x runners and story to it. Have I had any 10x runners? I said I was gonna show y'all the pullback strategy. Meta, yes, man. Okay. How's my train of thought? Yeah, you said, did I have any 10x runners? Let me tell you what I almost had. Where's my other chart? Tesla. Now, Tesla, I gotta go to the chart that I actually use for trading TS. So I was in Tesla, got out way too early on Friday. Tesla definitely was, I got in the contracts at, like, they were like $100 or something. And then it ran to like $1,000. So that would have been like that would have been almost a 10X. Like 125 up to 9. Yeah, that's almost a 10X. So what happened, and I'll show you guys, I already had Tesla on my watch list. I already felt it was moving. Tesla's really tricky, but Friday I was like, oh, Tesla's gonna run. I kind of just got impatient and got out way too early. But my mistake was, for some reason, I wasn't looking on the higher time frame as I was on the lower, right? But even with that 2 candle pullback, Tesla was, so at the start, Tesla comes down and then it breaks through these moving averages and the VWAP with good volume. That's already like signal to be watching, right? Now it ran, and then on the 15-minute, as you can see, we had this 2 candle pullback right here, 1, 2, and then we had this one close as a hammer on the 15 off of all these moving averages. That should have been the entry. That should have been the hold. That should have been the sign to go. And after that, Tesla ran all day. And I think I might have got in back here somewhere. I might have got impatient at the pullout, not at the pullback, not realizing that we were setting up for a 2 candle pullback in the hammer. And I got out and Tesla ran. Okay. So that's the story behind that. But all of the, what was another, AVAV. This was what, 2 weeks ago? AVAV has, I got in when it was 250 back a couple weeks ago. I don't remember, but it was, I just know, I had the levels all the way down here. I think my entry was the break of 248. And then went up to 263 at the time when I traded it. I know I had like a 10X on that one. Okay, I see you. That was a nice trade recap. Oh, thank you. Thank you, niece or nephew. Called me auntie. So yeah. Matter of fact, let's see what AVA is doing now. That was the I think defense or aerospace. So we're right here at this broadening formation. Probably gonna make its way back down, but this was a very good trade. It's been running. I think it's time for a pullback that would be healthy. This is also a double bottom. Maybe if we come all retest the 250, I don't know, but I'm gonna put an alert there. I mean, just in case. Oh, I don't have the subscription on here. I'm gonna have to do it on my Thinkorswim. I forgot about that. Maybe if we get the retest of that. We already retested 284. I don't know, but this stock really ran. Love your strap, by the way. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. TQQQ. What's IWM? Oh, IWM. I think IWM is going to run this week. I think we're at the... yeah. Yeah, IWM I'm going to watch for Monday. Hopefully we can break through this regression line. We're kind of at the bottom of the trading channel. We have a swing low right here. You take it at the break of Friday's high. Make some movement through there. Someone said, explain buying stocks to me as if I'm 5. Okay, so there's so many ways, but if we're talking about just straightforward buying stocks, if you're 5, basically, if you buy a toy at a discounted price, you want to buy a toy at a discounted price. Let's just say you buy a toy for $5. So you buy it at $5. And as time goes on, the toy becomes more valuable. And now it is selling, I don't know, maybe 3 months after you bought it, it's now selling for $15. Okay, you can sell the stock that you bought at $5 and make a $10 profit. That's the simplest way to explain stocks. You're just buying part of your investing in a business, a share of a business at a certain price, and you will hope to sell it at a higher price. There's so many other ways. You can short a stock too, meaning you could sell a stock at a higher price and then it goes down and then you could buy it back. That's short, and that's not simple terms, but is Robinhood a good app to start on? I'm new to buying stocks. Robinhood is a good app to start on because it's very, the interface is very beginner friendly. So Robinhood is a good place to start. There's so many styles of investing. You can do option trading. You can buy shares, long-term investing. But to start, you want to kind of get an idea of long-term investing, buying a stock at a certain price and selling it. You want to learn in the beginning. I think the first thing you should do is learn how to read candlesticks, because that's telling you what a stock is doing. Then you want to learn support and resistance. You want to buy stocks at their support, sell them at their resistance. Okay. Right. What else y'all got? Yeah, IWM. Let me change my Costco. Costco tried. So I'm just updating my list for the week. I'm taking everything off. I don't like to be distracted. Let me turn my camera. I don't like to be distracted by too many other stocks. Let me put IWM back on there. Oh, we're going to take a look at some crypto stocks. Love you, girl. Just followed you. Thank you. What app are you using right now? I use TradingView to chart, and this is Thinkorswim with Charles Schwab. That's what I actually trade on. I am so hurt by Tesla last week, y'all. I can't believe I got out of that. I was looking at, I'm gonna look at sound because we looked at that last week. For anybody that was on my live last week, we looked at sound, didn't we? And matter of fact, I don't know. SRFM Hood. I'm looking at Hood. We're looking at Dash, Spotify, Spotify. What were the other stocks? BWXT. Oh, Boeing. Oh, let's look at Boeing in the pre-market. What are they doing? Do you have classes? I don't have classes, but I did say I was gonna start doing this every Sunday. Y'all can see Boeing is kind of doing its thing. What was our entry on Boeing? About 222-ish. As you can see, it comes up around that area and rejects, which is why I say that's our entry. We need to break and hold that. What was it? Spotify, Boeing. Oh, HWM. Oh, UNH, and knee. We're waiting on a pullback on knee. Oh yeah, 76. Maybe even to the 200. Watching that. Let's see. Any other questions or ticker symbols? All right, hold on, y'all. Be right back. Hold on. You bought the pants? Oh, I see them. I was seeing if you bought those football pants. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So, none of y'all must be traders. Y'all ain't have no ticker symbols y'all looking at. What y'all looking at next week? What y'all charting? Followed by... Any questions? Options trading related. So if y'all don't have no questions or tickers that you want me to go over, looks like we may be done. I'm also gonna do a TikTok video on some of the tickers that I went over and share them on my page, because I do like to have them there and then do the updates for if the stock hit or not. But yeah, definitely I said I was gonna do some Bitcoin, some crypto. Let's see what crypto doing. Coinbase. It's under the 21 and the 50. I don't know, unless we reclaim that. I ain't really interested. Possibly. Yeah, no. Well, on the weekly, it's, well, I think it's something to watch. We're kind of basing out. I need to get over this like 354-ish level. Dang, that's a lot. Or we could write it up to that. Yeah, I don't know about Coinbase. I'm not really too interested. What's Meta doing? Real estate utilities. Oh, DoorDash. Okay, we had DoorDash on our list. What was our 262? Oh, yeah, we already said that this was breaking all of our things. Yeah, definitely watching that. Okay, y'all. Then we'll go ahead and get off of here. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to inbox me. Let's see. Oh, I invited someone and I did not mean to. Don't accept that. I'm sorry. I don't know who I just invited. Sorry about that. What is this? All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the little videos for some of these. And we'll be back next Sunday again to go over some things. Thank you guys for joining. Off of here. So I figure out how to. Let me see.